A porn performer by the name of Stoya has accused porn actor James Deen of sexually assaulting and raping her. Now, she did this through Twitter, and it led to a number of other porn actresses coming forward with their own accusations against Deen. Now, I want to show you the tweets in question here. The first tweet from Stoya says the following: "That thing where you log into the internet for a second and see people idolizing the guy who raped you as a feminist, that thing sucks." The second tweet said, "James Deen held me down and fucked me while I said no, stop, used my safe word. I just can't nod and smile when people bring him up anymore." Now, after she posted those very, very difficult tweets to put up there, especially against a very well-known porn actor, a number of other porn actresses, former porn actresses, came forward and they shared their own personal stories in solidarity with her. Two of those women were Tori Lux and Ashley Fires. Lux wrote in June of 2011 that Deen had asked her to sniff his testicles, and then after she refused, he forced her head into his crotch. Also pinned her to a mattress and hit her in the face several times. She says the incident took place on a major porn set, and the reason why she didn't come forward was because she was afraid of the consequences. She was afraid of losing job opportunities because of these accusations, and she also knew that women in the porn industry do get demonized, and if they are raped, it doesn't get taken as seriously because people think that porn actresses put themselves in unsafe situations. Of course, that's not true, and I couldn't disagree more. Now, this is the type of story that's difficult to have a concrete, hardcore point on. By the way, that pun was not intended.
Wow.
Anna. But I know I seriously didn't mean that pun. But the one thing I will say is, unfortunately, at this moment, no charges have been brought against him. He has not been tried in a court of law. I don't know what the truth is, which is why it's difficult to pass judgment. The only thing that I can really say is that it's incredibly important as a victim of sexual abuse to come forward and report it as soon as possible. Because if you are a porn star who wants to change the mentality people have about porn actresses, well, you need to come out and tell people what the reality is and some of the abuses that you have dealt with as a porn actress. That's my take on it. Colin, what do you think? Make your point.
Totally agree with your points. I would add two things. One, that this is ridiculously common, obviously, and it's not just for porn actresses or people in any adult industry. It's women in general that have trouble coming out with this because society tends to push back in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
But two, it's very heartening to see that tools like Twitter are allowing the conversation at least to be a little bit more egalitarian in that they can state their case, they can put it out there, get it on record, do it from hopefully a safe place. And then as a result, push back against this bias because the deck really is stacked against women in society with a lot of things, but with anything sex-related in particular.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point. Hank, make your point.
I've always been a part of the camp that believes that sex work should be regulated so that there first isn't the stigma and shame associated with doing that, because let's be honest, these people provide a lot of private pleasure for us everyday citizens, and yet we're ashamed and embarrassed and humiliated to talk about it and even acknowledge them to be at our level. And I think if we begin there, someone like Stoya would feel more comfortable speaking out about something like this, which is awful.
Yeah, you make a really great point. I think that we stigmatize people in the sex work industry and we assume that these are bad people, what they're doing is taboo, and that, again, that they put themselves in a dangerous situation. But this is the career path that they've chosen to take. A lot of them do it because they want to do it. And so there needs to be protections put in place for them regardless of the nature of their work. And so that's why I say it's really important for victims, whether it's men or women, to come forward and share their stories and go after these, predators that exist all around us, not just in the porn industry. All right, so here's the personal question for this story. Let me look for it right now. There it is. Name a time when someone you know violated your trust. Colin.
I am a business person. I've started my first business at 19, and I've dealt with a lot of people who have violated my trust. And the result of that, that you can't trust people enough to just do a handshake contract, is that now with my current business, which is a publishing company, we have a policy on record that we do not do business with assholes. That is part of the contract that me and my partners all signed.
I like that.
So
How do you determine if someone's an asshole? Like, are there like strict standards that you guys have in the contract?
We haven't worked up a complete rubric just yet, but
Okay.
usually it's the kind of an asshole when you meet an asshole
Yes,
type
absolutely. You feel it right away
I want to
sometimes.
see that rubric though.
Yeah.
Like what qualify? Did he flip somebody off in traffic? Did he, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's interesting,
It is,
Colin.
it is wildly situational, yeah.
Right.
So
Always the innovator. This one
Yeah.
right here. Yeah.
I mean, come talk to me after I read my mentions on Twitter, and then you'll meet a real asshole who's in a real bad mood.
not doing
sometimes.
business with any of them, no.
Right?
No randos in the YouTube comments or
Right?
anything.
No anonymous eggs that have strong
Nope.
opinions about you.
No,
Yeah.
hate those eggs.
Yes, hate them as well. Hank, what about you?
When I was still figuring out my sexuality, I think a lot of people that I grew up with or even went to college with, they started like talking amongst themselves. And I didn't find this out until after I came out, but it kind of hurt my feelings where a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like 4 years ago we all knew. Like when we were at some house party and someone was like, did Henry come out yet? And we're like, oh no, he's still closeted. And I was like, really? Really, why didn't somebody tell me? Like, why didn't you, or these were never people that stood alongside me to be like, hey, I think Ellen DeGeneres is pretty damn funny. Or Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Good movie, that Brokeback Mountain. Should have won the Oscar. Like, I was like, nobody, but everyone knew. And so to me, that felt a little like, well, would have been nice if someone said something.
Right. That's a good point. I think
yeah.
people are uncomfortable, though, because what if they're wrong?
Yeah, but that's why you're subtle about it. If
I
if I
see.
thought you were gay, I'd be like, yo, Anna, that girl's got some pretty boobs. What do you think? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you don't want to flat out be like, carpet muncher. I'm not going to just shout it out. You ease into it and let you know that, hey, you have an ally here who knows your secret.
I think unless you're on Twitter, then if you're an egg, you can yell whatever you like.
Call him out. Call him out. Exactly.
Subtlety is key. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had my trust betrayed, just like the vast majority of people. I would say the most recent time that I had my trust betrayed was actually a relationship I had with a colleague. We were very close, and later on I found out that the friendship was really based on opportunities that I can provide for this individual, as opposed to really wanting to spend time with me, valuing our friendship, valuing our relationship. And so that was difficult. That
But we got
betrayed my
over
trust.
it, and here I am.
I know.
So now
All
we're
right.
good.
I know.
We're good again now. Yeah, we are.
How do you filter for something like that, I wonder?
It's difficult. I mean, I was very trusting and naive. And also, we work in this environment at TYC Network where we're all more than just colleagues. At least I think of everyone around me as more than just colleagues. And so when I treat people like my families, I expect to kind of get the same treatment in return. And unfortunately, that's not what happened with this person. But that's life. Well, tell me last time someone betrayed your trust. Share your comment in the section below. Tell us what you think about this story, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, I have an awesome new announcement for you. Turns out that The Point will be hosted on the video platform Watchable.com. All you have to do is go to Watchable.com and search for The Point, and boom, you'll see our videos, you'll see our content, and we really want to make sure that The Point is available on all these different and awesome, great platforms. So take a look, tell us what you think, and we'll see you soon.